Yep, you seen the title in the thumbnail. We're about to do one of my favorite Southern comfort foods, and that's Salisbury steak. But I'm gonna do it a little bit different, so we're gonna make Salisbury steak meatballs. Pretty much the same thing, but they're in bite-sized pieces. Y'all ready? Get in your kitchen, let's go. All right, let's do a quick rundown of today's recipe. Back here we have our ground beef. We have some white mushrooms here, onions, beef broth, breadcrumbs. I'm using plain breadcrumbs. You can use panko breadcrumbs. I didn't have any. I would probably prefer to use panko, but I only had plain. Some of that W sauce, butter. We have some marinara sauce here. Now you can use regular tomato sauce if you want to, or tomato paste. It's totally up to you. Seasoned salt, black pepper, fresh garlic, vegetable oil. We have more onions here, but these are sliced, salt and pepper, an egg, some oregano, garlic and onion powder, some thyme, cornstarch, and we have some mustard back there. So let's get to it. All right, to get started, we're gonna heat 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. All right, once that oil comes to temperature, we're gonna add our onions. And we're gonna saute these for about 5 to 7 minutes, allowing them to soften. And by the way, these are our diced onions, not the sliced ones. All right, so after about 5 minutes, we're gonna go in with our garlic. We're gonna mix this around for about a minute. We're gonna hit that with a little salt and a little pepper and continue to get that mixed in for about a minute. All right, so we're about a minute in. We're gonna turn our heat off. We're gonna let this cool for about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna remove it from the pan, let it cool for about 3 to 5 minutes. While we do that, we're gonna head over to our cutting board. Now that we're at our cutting board, you wanna take a large bowl, add your ground beef. We're gonna add our cooked onions and garlic. Still kind of hot, don't worry. Our breadcrumbs, our egg, seasoned salt and black pepper, marinara sauce or tomato sauce, whichever one you prefer, our yellow mustard, oregano, W sauce. I'm gonna go in this with a spoon first. I may get in here with my hands, but I wanna get it mixed with this spoon first. And guys, what you don't wanna do, you don't wanna over mix it, but mix it well enough to get all these ingredients combined. All right, I think we're good right there. It worked well with the spoon. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this aside and bring a baking dish here. And this is just to place our meatballs on. Now guys, I'm gonna do mine in the meatball shape. You don't have to do it the meatball shape. You can do it the regular way you make Salisbury steaks, like the burger patty, that's fine. So here I'm gonna take a cookie scooper. I just sprayed it with a little cookie spray, that way it doesn't stick. And this is, I can't remember what diameter this one is, but it's like a regular meatball size, just like that, guys. And I'm just gonna roll this baby up like this, just into a meatball shape, like that. Sit it right here. And we're just gonna continue and do the rest of them. This is very simple, not hard at all. And guys, you don't wanna press too much while you're mixing or forming your patties. It just makes the meatball that much tougher, or the meat that much tougher when you're cooking it. So try to just lightly form it. So I'm gonna finish this up, and once I finish, we're gonna come back and continue the recipe. All right, so now we have all our meatballs formed. We're gonna head back over to our stove so we get these babies into the pan. Okay, in the same pan that we cooked our onions in, we're gonna heat up our 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Once that oil heats up, we're gonna start adding our meatballs. And guys, we're just gonna cook these until they brown on each side. So when you remove them, they will not be cooked all the way through. And you may, depending on how many you have to cook these babies in batches. All right, guys, so it looks like we're good. Like I say, we're just browning it on all sides. They're not gonna be cooked all the way through. You'll still be able to see some pink, but I'm gonna start removing them here. As you can see with that one has a little pink in it. That's what we want. We're gonna continue with our second batch. All right, so now we're working on our last batch. We're gonna go ahead and get these removed. We're gonna turn our heat off, get this last batch removed. We're gonna crank our heat back up. We're gonna add another tablespoon of vegetable oil. We're gonna add our sliced onions here. And we're gonna cook these for about 5 minutes until they soften. Guys, let's hit this with a little salt and a little pepper. And let's continue to cook this for another 2 minutes of that 5 minutes. All right, so after about 5 minutes, we're gonna add our butter here along with our mushrooms. And we're gonna cook these mushrooms until they're a nice brown goldish color, mixing it in well with our onions. All right, so once you got your mushrooms all folded in, you see the color change, we're gonna bring our meatballs back into the shot, or we're gonna add them back into the pan rather. Let's get these babies situated in here. We're gonna add our beef broth in here. We're gonna season that with our garlic powder, onion powder, our salt and pepper, that W sauce, and our thyme. We're gonna turn that heat up just a little bit. We wanna bring this to a boil. Once that mixture starts to boil, we're gonna cover it and let it cook for 15 minutes. All right, so we're about 15 minutes in. Let's remove our veil real quick. We're gonna give that just a slight mix. Man, this is looking so good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our cornstarch. I've already mixed it with 3 tablespoons of water. So 1 part cornstarch, 1 part water. Since we use 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, we're gonna use 3 tablespoons of water. And we're gonna start adding that here throughout our mixture. We're gonna let this cook for 5 more minutes until that mixture starts to thicken and that internal temperature of those meatballs are around 165. So I'm gonna get this covered back up. All right, so we're 5 minutes in. Let's go ahead and remove our top again. And let's look and see if we have that sauce where we want it. Did it thicken up like we wanted? And yes, it did, guys. Look at that. Perfect gravy. Perfect gravy. All right, so we're gonna turn this baby off, head over to our cutting board. We're gonna get into the final presentation. All right, so now we're at our cutting board. Man, I don't even see a reason why to plate this baby up. We're gonna leave them right here in this pan. So there you have it, Salisbury Steak Meatballs. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Let's jump into quality control. We're gonna do a little taste test, all right? All right, this quality control time, guys. We're gonna bring this Salisbury Steak Meatball to the front of the congregation, guys. Look at that. Ooh-wee. I just put a few of them in this plate right here. I know y'all saying, before I get started, I know it said, where the mashed potatoes at? I ain't got no mashed potatoes. I ain't cooked none yet. It's early still. I'm gonna make some though, but we here to taste these Salisbury Steak Meatballs, so let me get into this, all right? Oh man, look at that. What I like about it, it's not tough. That's why you don't want to press the meat and make it too firm when you're shaping them up. Melts in your mouth, guys. Man, get some of these onions and mushrooms. Y'all already know what I'm gonna say, groceries. Now, again, you can use the same recipe to make the hamburger patty shaped Salisbury steak. It's totally up to you, but I like these little bite-sized meatballs. So, guys, definitely add this one to your things to cook. So until the end, y'all already know who I am. All wings, everything. And remember, I'm not a chef. I just cook a lot, and I'm out. Peace.